Hello everyone and welcome to the midweek video. I did a two-pieced clothing set made of a skirt, which we're looking at first, and a blazer that we're looking at later. With the aforementioned pause in my voice, you can already tell that a blazer is a very wide interpretation in this case, but I did what I did. The skirt first is something that I actually was surprised I didn't already have. I had the idea of this like triangle kind of skirt that is very, very short on the sides and then long enough to hide stuff in the middle. And this is something that I will probably do again, even more pronounced next time. Like, the side is still long enough to count as a skirt, and this is something that next time I will actually not remedy, not fix, but like just have the side shorter next time, this side on left and right. I had to redo this part of the actual skirt because I forgot to set up the symmetry, so I had to basically redo this and make the symmetry. And in this case I already decided I'm going to by each iteration or by each extrusion I would just fix the clipping right then and there, so I will not have to do this later. And then I thought, well, the side is really long. I didn't want this to be that long actually, so I decided I'm going to make this again. And finally I did the extrusion for the pleating. Yeah, removed the extra faces that I created and just overall, yeah, played around with the shape a bit to make this more look more appealing, look more natural. It is symmetrical left and right, but that's fine for the time being, for what I wanted. So we're leaving it at that. I designed this with a specific kind of buckle for the belt, you could say. And yeah, really happy with how this in the end turned out. Buckle in question is the Venus symbol, also the femininity symbol, which I just found a cool idea to make and add to this specific clothing piece. It is just part of the of the skirt, though it is not part of the blazer, simply because I didn't really find a good place for it in the time I took to make this. There is a side tangent I will go on in a few minutes. We will actually look into DAS Studio a bit, and I will show you a bit of a detail that I made in this, especially in the blazer, that will hopefully help you if you do your own 3D modeling. It got something to do with morphs and with alterations to the Genesis body. But yeah, finished up with making the VMAPs for the skirt. The skirt in itself is not really that much. Like, it doesn't have that much details, that much pieces, but it still works because I combined it in the final render with some other stuff that I had. So yeah, I actually don't have that much skirts overall, so I will be making more. I decided for the blazer as well to go from scratch. I could have try to copy paste or use the full body suit, but I decided I'm going to make this from scratch, maybe mainly because I wanted to try working from the cube base in this case, just to have something different going on and to see how well I can adjust the shape. Like, I can freely adjust the shape, obviously, but I wanted to yeah, basically not work with the aforementioned full body suit because of the clipping issue that I will come to later. The clipping issue specifically being on the breasts, and I have an example of this in the video that you will see in a bit. Yeah, overall wasn't that difficult. I wanted the blazer to basically be open so you can see a lot of the actual body, a lot of the actual skin, kind of lewd, but yeah, I'm happy with how this whole thing turned out. Yeah. God, I got 50 more seconds to fill before we go onto the side tangent. Yeah, you can see that this is that the field is clipping a lot on the breast. This is because the breasts have a lot of single vertices, and this is why we have to adjust, because you can see I'm adding just a bit of detail above the nipple, and this is simply because when you use a morph for Genesis 2, which is one of the standard morphs where you can extrude the nipple, like it is a morph, you can see that it is clipping through the actual fabric, and this happens a lot with the full body suit because it is not suited for this. And you can see that the blazer that I did, and we'll see this in a bit, will not clip because it has enough vertices of its own to not clip. Basically, the form, the clothing has to adjust to the morph that you're doing for the body, and for that to be able to happen, you need to have enough vertices so that the form can actually adjust to your changes. You can see this also, or you could have seen this under the breast, where the form is distorted because I made the breasts bigger in the render, and this fell back onto the form, which then has a curve that the clothing has to make in addition. Basically, it has to adjust to the form, and it does this by by the added vertices to change these. Yeah, finally I back at the modeling, I added the the color to the blazer. Could have been a bit more detailed. I actually am thinking about like adding the color separately, making the color an additional object, so that I can color it differently. But for now, I'm leaving it as it is. Yeah, and this is basically what I did. Last thing, of course, is I added the sleeves. This is actually the sleeves I wanted to add for the nurse clothing, but I kind of forgot adding them while I did the nurse piece, which also would have been closed up around the whole arm, but in this case I wanted them to be like very open, basically a very summer-like appeal that you can wear without getting too hot. at least from the summer heat. But yeah, edit the sleeves. This is basically just copy pasting a few of the edges and then extrusion. And yeah, this is the whole thing that I made. I copy pasted the arm after making all the UV maps. And yeah, this is what I did this week. I hope you liked the whole thing. I had a lot of fun making this, and I will continue making content on the weekend, so I'll see you guys in the next video on Saturday or Sunday. Most likely Sunday. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, enjoy the render that is coming up, and I'll see you guys around.